will call me 1 a.m. in the morning. Grace, what do you think? I just sent you a video. And I'm like, do you know what the time is?
Today, I think it's a honor for me to have some of the key people on board here so that they can share some of their experiences with season 2. These amazing people that are with me here today, I'm just the one that they push to the front, but, they're the ones getting everything done behind us.
Coincidentally, Tito was a guest in season 1.
Yeah.
Then he came on board.
I feel like at this stage in life, you have something you're trying to overcome. With these 2 seasons we've already shot, so there's something that would work for you if you try it. So you need to keep and continue and start, as Grace said, watching the BLOcounsel.
I call Solomon, and Solomon does not pick. And I just found out that Solomon doesn't pick at the first ring because he wants me to calm down first. And thank you, because actually it does work.
Welcome to the BLOcounsel, where we talk about everything personal development and business development.
Hi guys, welcome again to another episode of the BLOcounsel. Today we are having something different and doing something really, really different. Today is our season 2 finale. We've had an amazing time sharing our own experiences, talking to very, very interesting guests, and doing so much. And it's been really lovely being on this platform with you guys. But it's important that there's people who work behind the scene to make all these amazing things that we see happen. And today, I think it's a honor for me to, have some of the key people on board here so that they can share some of their experiences with season 2. We're going to be spending some time talking today, more like a not necessarily feedback session for each other, but we hope you guys will enjoy our conversation with each other today. They're going to tell us, what they liked, what they didn't like, and maybe they'll have some important questions for me too. With all due respect and honor, I would like, our amazing crew to introduce themselves. Maybe we start with Tito.
Hi everyone. Thank you, Mr. Babs, for that introduction. My name is Tito Wachoko, and I am playing the role as creative director of the BLOcounsel season 2. And it's a wonder to be here. I'm quite nervous. I'm usually behind the camera, but yeah.
Well, thank you, Tito. Is like I said, I'm sure Tito has maybe he's still going to tell us some things as the show goes on. But yeah, Grace, please introduce yourself, our beautiful Grace.
Hello everyone, my name is Grace Ojo, and I am the producer for the BLOcounsel, aka project manager for the BLOcounsel.
Thank you, Grace. And Solomon, please, let us know you for those that don't know you yet.
Hi, my name is Ojeni Solomon. I am the videographer and editor for the project, the BLOcounsel.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so, well, we've always given a little bit of background about the BLOcounsel, but I'll use this opportunity today to speak a little bit about, the BLOcounsel, and why we have decided to do this, and why we have decided to do it the way we are doing it. Just a little bit, to retract a little bit backwards. I believe we launched the BLOcounsel sometime September 2023, and since then it's been an interesting journey so far. From creating the name to putting the team together to inviting guests and so many little things there and there, ups and downs, schedules, but these amazing people that are with me here today, I think for me, I'm just the one that they push to the front, but they're the ones getting everything done behind us. I think before I go too deep into what the BLOcounsel or whatever it is about, I think let's so it's not like a monologue. We can speak a little bit about what has happened in the past season. Let me start with Grace. What what was challenging for you in season 2? Let's start with the challenges before we talk about the exciting things.
Challenges.
What was you know, and don't say because you know Tito is there, you don't want him to.
Major challenge was managing my people, Tito, the rest of the team behind the camera right now, and Solomon. That was the hardest part for me. I'm so happy we reached a point where we're quite on the same page. So that was a huge challenge. And I'm happy that the Holy Spirit has touched their hearts to do better.
Ah. Well, hopefully Tito is not going to say you were a challenge too, though.
Feel free.
Very diplomatic.
But you know, Solomon, I would like you to pick the same question. You know, do you have any?
What were the challenges?
Or maybe challenging is too deep of a word. Maybe I should have used the.
No, every project has challenges we need to solve and overcome. Part of the challenges was the time frame, delivering, and then I think we had to meet up constantly. And then Grace will be like, Solomon, alphabet video, and then we're like, okay, we are working on it. We'll send it to you shortly. Just give us a few minutes. And one day Grace was like, Solomon, your few minutes. It's like it's not few.
A few minutes is few hours.
At least few is there.
But those were part of the challenges, but thank God we are here now.
I think the interesting thing about Solomon challenges are challenges of a big man. Not enough time because
Exactly.
plenty projects.
It's allowed. But it looks like you're buttressing what Grace said, indirectly. Yeah, okay.
We had me second guessing what few minutes meant.
It's a different time zone. Maybe
Exactly.
Ibadan time is different from Lagos.
But it was because we putting stuff in together can be creating stuff actually is what was the word I'm looking for?
Challenging.
Yeah, challenging and quite a process. So you need to put in effort and all those stuff, and they have a way they creep into your time. And the goal is when you see the final output, you are happy with what you've created, and you're like, okay, now I can send this to Grace.
Makes sense. I don't know if and before I even come to Tito, let me still stay with Solomon a little bit. You talked about the process itself. So is there something you think you've learned from the process so far?
What I actually learned sincerely from the process of creating the BLOcounsel is having to find a faster way to do stuff, actually.
Okay.
So, okay, even behind the scenes, sometimes you have to talk to Mr. Babs and stuff like that. I'll be like, okay, Solomon, let's try this platform, let's do this, let's do that. There are faster routes you can use to achieve something and get things done. So always having to find a faster route, an alternative that can give you the same result is something that I learned and I've been using hands-on, but I learned it from working on the BLOcounsel.
Makes sense. Anyway, and Tito, I don't know what challenges do you think has
Well, yeah, I mean, working on the project has been, rewarding. I think one of the major challenges at the beginning of, when I joined was trying to fit into the already existing structure and system. Like I think it's a general knowledge once a new person joins a new structure, there's usually time to adjust to the processes. But once adjusted, I think, and Grace can testify, I mean, the process has been more seamless. Right. The second thing that was a challenge was meeting with the time, like Solomon mentioned. I think that's one thing that every creative struggles with because, there's expectations, but then it has to have a level of quality. It has to have a level of creativity at the same time meeting that time frame. It takes a lot of mental work to do that, right? So that was another major challenge that we faced. I think the third one would now be trying to find the core message in each episode because each episode has a core message, and then working on the trailers or the snippets are supposed to find a way to summarize the core message in a way that people can watch it in 60 seconds and have an idea what the video is about. That's also very challenging, but also very rewarding also. So those were my major challenges. Not really, I'm not going to slander Grace. She was only doing her job, and I respect that.
Thank you.
That makes sense. And I think those, especially the last part you said, those challenges you talked about getting snippets. In my view, I think you've done a very interesting job. So
Fantastic work.
yeah, it's interesting to see that your challenges are what we love to see.
I appreciate.
That's cool. Well, let me answer the question too, so that for me, and sincerely, I think I wouldn't say it's been challenging. I don't. I think, and this is the rationale behind me saying it's not challenging. It's more of everybody has come together to do their own parts. So I see it as like the season 2 for me has progressed a lot. The way we have done things, the synergy. So I don't know if I can say that it was a challenge in my own view. It looks like it has just been better. Yeah, because it could be worse.
Yeah, true.
So that's why for me, I don't then of course from the angle of creating the content and all that stuff. For me, it's maybe it's just a gift. Maybe I write many of these things normally. Yeah, my passion is that's one of the things I do. I don't think there's any day that passes that I don't write something. And yeah, especially things that come to my mind, I see them as a revelation. Because sometimes people say, oh, when you're in the shower or you are doing something and you have some thoughts just come to your mind. I don't miss out on those. For me, those are always those are the difference. Those are the ones that make the difference. So, and most times you just neglect them, and before you know it, you've forgotten it. You don't remember again. So I try to always take those notes. But yeah, for me, it's been amazing. It's been amazing. So, but hopefully, next season won't bring its own challenges.
Hopefully.
Yeah. and of course, as we are speaking, please feel free to let's all speak about what you think about if you have any questions so that we can all.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting thing, how that if you look through all the topics, there's almost like it doesn't seem as though anything is being rehashed or resaid. It's like fresh insights almost every time, and I know how difficult. I mean, maybe not for you because you're the guru, but I know like coming up with things that will make people think it's not easy. So give you your flowers. Where's that flower? I can't pluck it.
That would be too big. Thank you. I appreciate that actually. I appreciate that really. Yeah, so maybe I should start saying it's hard to do. Maybe I shouldn't make it simple.
Say if you are
know
good
how
at something.
The amount of time it took to produce what you people love to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know that we're in the era of Gemini AI. It doesn't seem it's not Gemini, it's not AI, it's
brain work.
brain eye.
No, it's not. Yeah, we have there's notes to show.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this just from my mind, I'm just thinking and because you talked about the episodes and the differences and how the messages resonate differently. What would you say was your favorite from season 2?
This question, if they ask, when they ask a father, what's your favorite son? If he mentions one, that's a trap. But I'll mention I'll say 2 or 3 of the videos that resonated with me. The ones where with Jim Rohn, I think those ones are very, very practical. And the one that I really, really liked, aside from the guest, I'm coming to the guest, it was the law of giving. I think it's very practical, and a lot of people like to assume that it doesn't happen, but it's true. And then the insights that you shared, I'm sorry I mentioned more. Then the one about a business plan, right? How your business plan is going to be in a way that you know that this is actually a business that should kick off, right? So those are really very valuable. And then in the guests, I think I mentioned all the episodes. If you leave me, I'll just stop here. But the guest interview that I think I really, 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 really liked was with Engineer Dari. I think that's my favorite episode. About all the things I mentioned, that one specifically was my favorite episode. Yeah, because of these insights he shared, and I watched his first video for season 1. It wasn't the same content at all, right? So he shared like his experiences, his stories, and I think one thing I got from that episode was, aside from the lessons, was the fact that you were quoting the pages. In page 200 and something, chapter 14. You mentioned, I'm like,
How did he know?
how are you? Yeah, so that was like my favorite episode of all time in season 2 so far.
Makes sense. Okay. Grace, let's
I
hear
don't
from you.
I don't think like Tito said it's easy for me to pick a favorite episode because each one since season 1 has been absolutely fantastic. And I would like to thank all our guests from season 1 to season 2. Coincidentally, Tito was a guest in season 1.
Yeah.
Then
Full
he came
circle
on
moment.
board.
Full circle moment.
So we're so happy. Thank you
course.
for coming on board
Course,
as a guest
course.
and being the creative director here.
Or-
I'm with Tito on the Engineer Diary. Why am I picking that particular episode? It did numbers.
Look at
It
this
did
marketer.
good numbers. The
Marketer.
engagements were fantastic. Till now, we're still having engagements on that particular video. So that is definitely my favorite. And the rest of the videos, the personal videos that Mr. Babs does, is crazy that when you are here and you are seeing the episode unfold behind the scene and you watch it again, is a different experience altogether. So I learn every single time, and it's absolutely fantastic.
It's like Grace Wilson writes book.
I have a book actually.
You know.
Thank you.
So what episodes do I find interesting the most? First of all, I must say time management episode. Because
You need it.
every time I'm having issues with my time, I still go back to like watch and try to get one or two. Then business management, like Tito said, because I'm always thinking of how can I make money and goal setting as well.
Yeah.
But why I say business management and goal setting is because they are kind of intertwined. And the part that strikes me the most is where Mr. Bab said, if your business can make 10 million, okay, if your business has the potential to make 10 million, aim higher than that money and than that amount rather, so that even if you don't make what you are planning to do, or just, I don't think you use money, you just use the phrase, something like that. By the time you make what you can make, you are above what you said, and then you are pushing yourself to the limit. So I think that has been something I've been trying to do this year. I've been trying to push myself to that point where I know that.
Wow, that's
And that's why he has not had our time.
you watch our video.
Yeah,
Give us.
And then Engineer Diary as well.
Ah.
Engineer Diary's episode, why I think I enjoyed it was because of the way he included family in everything he said, actually. I see that originality in this family structure. Like, it's not like you are trying to fake something. It came out, it's genuine.
It's who he
That
is.
was what I liked about the episode the most.
I think something to add to what Solomon said. When I was watching the video where we looked at the skills that Mr. Jimran said, I saw how, right, as Mr. Baz was sharing them, it wasn't just like theory. This was everything that he was mentioning were things that he used to do. So I was like, appreciating, ownership. I was like, I mean, and it's interesting for me because because I'm an editor, so I watch all these things too, But sir, you said in your video, I lost concept. I was like, you're the one that said, well, everything that was there has aligned to his
Him as a
character.
person.
So it's not like there's no difference. And then the story where he was sharing in Love Giving it was the one where who owns the money. Where he was sharing the stories of how he, the things that he was doing when he was younger. I was just like,
Okay.
I say,
Well, some
levels.
of us did many things, but let's leave that one for another story.
Levels.
Yeah, so it's and thank you guys for sharing because I feel but I hope you guys are not saying it because I'm here.
No.
I was going to add that when you watch people talk from a distance, or maybe on screen and stuff like that, the feeling is different. But when you are part of the process, you listen to them talk, and then you go back home to because we edit the content and you go back home now to work. It has the messages hit you differently. When you hear them say it on set, the feeling is different. Then when you now sit down to watch again, the feeling is different. Now when you are creating the snippets and you are listening to that same message, So he eats you differently at
So the first time when you are watching it from a place of work, because everything has to be aligned with the camera, the audio. So you're not really hearing as much.
yeah.
When you now get back, you're not editing. You say, hey.
Then you're,
I
So-
see.
then you're looking for the key point of the message, and then you're like, okay, this is another angle to this.
on your way, you now stumble on gems that will change your life.
People should be paying, no.
No. They can't. They shouldn't. But it's
Celebrate
interesting.
grace.
It's interesting because you guys, I think, well, we'll have to continue to do better
That's
with the
the plan.
videos. Well, for me, I cannot have a favorite video. I don't know.
And you can't.
Can't.
I think, but let me see. Maybe a favorite video when I was making it. I think I'll go with. I think I'll go with the Jim Rohn video, and the Dr. Miles Monroe video.
Yeah.
And I think for me, it's just because many of the things I speak about are just are the things I practice too. You know, some of this information, it wasn't like I just many of them I stumbled upon them. It wasn't like someone told me, oh, go and listen to this. I remember before I started listening to Mr. Jim Rohn, I used to see the videos. I'll just skip it, and that's why I know life is interesting, because there's some things you'll be noticing now that may seem irrelevant to you, but it's just because you're not in that phase yet. When you get to another phase, you now say, but I've been seeing this thing for like 5 years. I've seen this thing 5 years ago. Now it's now making sense to me. So, and that happens all the time. So that's why for me, I don't see any information as well. Let me not make it sound like that, because social media now there's many things. But when you see the right, especially when you see people who have a movement, who can and not some of the type of movement we're seeing today. I mean, like people who speak to people, and you see people listen to them. I always pick something out of those types of people. So for me, that video, and just like Tito said, I'll say something truthfully today. That particular video, I think maybe for the past I don't know, maybe 6-7 years, I listen to that. That's the first thing I listen to every day.
Wow.
Every day.
Wow.
Every day. That's the first night every day.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's because the 7 skills that change his life. That's because those 7 skills, in my own view, I think if you can grab those 7 skills, I think you can achieve anything you want to achieve. Just those 7. So yeah, that's my favorite. So well, let's Grace, do you have any questions for us? Let's see, maybe something you like.
Okay. So I'm very curious to know everybody's creative process. What gets you, energized?
Solomon.
So let's start with Mr. Babs.
Okay.
Be ready.
A creative process.
Creative process.
Yeah, process.
Yeah, for me again, it's it's still a process, but it's more of every topic I speak about, I don't force it. I don't think I've sat down and I'm thinking, oh, what do I want to talk about? No. I just have the belief that what I'm going to talk about is going to come to me. So like maybe the law of giving, I think I was maybe I was talking to someone and we had that conversation, and in my head I'm like, this is something I should talk about, and then I note it down. So for me, it's usually like that, and I think it works best because it helps me to be able to, put the best into it when I don't have to force it. I don't have to think too much about it. So and then the process itself, for me, everything I talk about, I just I just write them down. It just flows naturally. Sometimes I don't even have to go over them too much, but I write it down but once I have a topic, there's always something to talk about. There's always something. Most times you don't even have to cut it down because you don't want it to be too long.
Yeah.
So for me, that's the process. There's not much.
Speaking of cutting down, I'm very sure that most people do not want to know that it takes time to write these things and to plan for them. And I must say, Mr. Babs always delivers. Like, we don't have to shoot twice. We just have to. It's one go and we're done. And we know that, that episode is over.
Give his respect.
So, Tito, What's your creative process like?
Hey, have you been to a shooting before? That's how my process is. All right, so for the BLOcounsel specifically, sometimes before the shoot, Mr. Babs will send the script, or we'll know this is the guest that we are interviewing, and then this is what we are doing after. So I have to, because my role is both technical and creative, so I have to ensure that all the equipment is available, the lighting setup. If you notice, the lighting for the interviews are different from the lighting for the solo videos, because there's a lot of intentionality there. And sometimes, oftentimes, it's the vibe of the video that will determine the way the light is going to be. So it's not too dark, it's not too bright, it's just like
Perfect.
balanced. So there's that, and then coordinate with the team. When I mean by the team, I mean like the crew.
Yeah.
And then make sure audio is good. So that's the flow. Basically, like I have a list. I used to have a physical list, but then with experience, it became a list here. The things I'll just tick off, tick off, tick off, tick off,
Mastermind.
tick off. And then that's for the technical side of things. Ensure that all the files are good. Ensure that the video is good enough. We shoot in the right color beat, in the right frame per second. All those. I don't want to bore you people with technical jargons. But then when I get to the creative, the editing, there are some parts that I know that I'll have to cut. There are some videos that, because of the pace of the video, I might have to speed it up just maybe a little bit that it's not noticeable. Some videos that I'll have to let it breathe because of the conversation. Some parts where I might maybe need to switch over, because I don't know if you pay attention to the snippets we did for Engineer Adare. I switched the flow of the conversation. So I took what was in the middle to the front, and so I just changed the whole thing. So that process, because the idea is that I did it in such a way that the viewer doesn't even know that anything was a problem before. So that's seamless process. And then color, I experiment with color a lot, right? But it's just that one is based on vibes, right? But then getting the right so that's basically what I normally would do. What do I do to keep myself, in the flow? Well, first and foremost, I'm constantly motivated by my need to not, be small. Anyhow you want to paraphrase that, So I want to, grow in my skills. I want to, tell stories that matter. I want to, build a career for myself that is known for quality work. So that's a constant motivation for me. If the work is not quality, let it not be from me. So that's a constant motivation. And then also, I think my workspace is also very much attuned to, producing consistently. When I just started in my career, then when you're at the mercy of NEPA, you're at the mercy of MTN, you're at the mercy of, and Messi can say no. So, getting a solar a while ago, so that if it's 2 a.m. I can work. If it's 1 a.m. I can work. There's no light. Let me sleep, right? So that helps the process for me. But one challenge that I didn't mention was when I had issues with my laptop, right? So there are some problems that even if you do everything, they'll still meet you, right?
Yeah.
But those processes help me like stay consistent, and I also like working with timeline. When people say things like batch creating, it works sometimes, but there are sometimes when, let's say you are shooting multiple videos, it helps when you know when it is being released, so that you can just plan yourself around to maintain quality. Because if you edit 10 videos in one day and you edit one video every day, you see the difference in the quality of each video. So that's where, working with the team, with Grace, ensures that I can, keep the quality, and then I'll now wait for final feedback, and that also matters. Then Mr. Bowles will check it, and they'll say, maybe we should change this or change that, and then, So that's exactly my process. It's not really crazy like that, but there are sometimes when it's just vibes. As long as it delivers, So yeah.
Makes
Alright.
sense. Makes sense.
So, what's my creative process? Like Tito said, it can be complicated and
First, you
sometimes
call
it
your
can be.
babe.
Well, it's still a process.
The
No, it's
process.
a process. What gives us inspiration is different, but I don't.
Maybe the question should be what? Okay, maybe that's the next question. What's the inspiration?
But the process can be funny at some point. Like say, it can be vibes. But what was my process like? After okay planning before Tito came on board, which it used to be us doing all the planning and execution and stuff like that. Well, after Tito came, we had to it made things easier. So we have someone to work with. We have someone that we know that is handling this part and then we do the other part and stuff like that. So there's a balance. Like I said, getting equipment, filming, then going back, okay, what do I want to do with this video? What are the key points of the video? What are the things they said? How is the vibe of these guests? We had a lot of guests then. What's the vibe of these guests like? Is it someone that flowed well with the camera? Is donation, all those stuff?
Yeah.
We need to look at it as well. Then we sit down, we look at okay, what part what I do, I edit the long videos first. Then I pick out the most interesting and important part of the video. Then we find a way to coin the snippets out of that. Then like I said earlier, we take it to the AI platforms to try to okay, let's do this subtitling, caption, coloring, all those stuff. So the process can be faster. It's a lot of work, is what we are saying, but the process, it helps the process.
And there are some days that MTN is not on your side.
And then MTN, because here now, you are paying. You have after subscription, you have to subscribe to our Nigerian network, and then okay, Mr. Bab, what's the feedback? Grace, so the Wadafa, take this out. I don't like this. When can I get the video? Okay, I'll give you feedback shortly.
Few minutes.
For a few minutes, we still have to, sometimes after you take out what she asked you to take out, now you have to go back and repeat the whole process again. Because now something has changed.
Has
The
removed that.
video is shorter, the video is longer, you have to go back to adjust your caption and all those stuff. Now, before you now send out the final copy and then they upload on YouTube and you're happy, she's happy.
Everybody's
We're
happy.
happy. A happy wife, a happy life. Grace, can you hear?
A happy Grace, a happy team.
I think Grace is the only lady on our team.
Yes. So you can imagine how stressful it is sometimes.
Sorry.
Well, I will still congratulate you for that.
Okay.
So, Grace, what's your creative process? I think
Also,
know
we
you
shout.
asked that,
From the start of the BLOcounsel, I think one thing that stuck with me was basically what is worth doing is worth doing well. So when we're shooting any video, when we're getting guests on board, everything has to be perfect. Everything has to be up to par. So that's the first thing that comes to my mind. After then, I have to reach out to these fine gentlemen here to make sure that we have everything in place, because obviously I'm not the one that does the video recording. I'm not the one that edits and does all the color grading and all of that. But it's important that I'm always up to date with everything going on. I make sure that they are giving me feedback, because sometimes I call Solomon and Solomon does not pick. And I just found out that Solomon doesn't pick at the first ring because he wants me to calm down first. So that's very interesting to know. And thank you, because actually it does work. The anger I used to call you, it subsides at the second ring.
I'm going to learn this.
That's a good tactic.
Honestly, just basically working with the team is enough creative process for me. Because sometimes Solomon will call me. I don't want to call you out now. Will call me 1 a.m. in the morning. Grace, what do you think? I just sent you a video. And I'm like, do you know what the time is?
Maybe that's when his own creative process entered.
I work in the midnight actually. I feel I'm more because midnight everywhere is quiet. Nobody's making noise.
Interesting.
When the afternoon, Lagos is no one interested.
I had to ask that. Are you part of people that are flying at night? Because why? 1 a.m. How do you even know I'm awake by that time?
It's why you're awake by that time.
I just happen to be.
Okay.
So basically all of us putting our heads together to make sure that the videos come out good. And that's basically it for me. Absolutely fantastic working with you guys. Thank you so much. Aside the stress, I really enjoy working with you guys.
Stress is part of life.
Thank you.
Comes with the job.
Okay, I think so. Let's look forward a little bit. Is there something you may be expecting going forward? What's your when you think of the BLOcounsel, you think of everything we're doing. Do you have a picture in your mind? What do you think we can do better?
I personally would like to see more guests on the show. We've reached out to quite a number of people, and we want to have you on this show.
Of course.
We want to hear what you have to say to us, to the audience, and to everybody that cares to listen. So, kindly, let us know your response in the DMs. Aside that, it's a learning process for each and every one of us, and I would love to learn more. And obviously, we have to be on global level. So I don't want the BLOcounsel to be limited to just, our Nigerian audience. I want it to be,
We want a foreign audience.
foreign guests.
Foreign guests.
Yes, I want us to be global because I believe that what we have is not just for people in Nigeria, it's for people abroad. I mean, it's not only Nigerians that want to learn how to better their lives, how to better their businesses. So it's important that we get the BLOcounsel out to as many people as possible. So that's what I look forward to seeing.
Sister, I don't know if you want to...
I can be your first foreign guest, I'm joking. Yeah, so what I look forward to, like she said, the last thing she said will be the first thing I would say. Reaching out to new audiences. I even feel, even in Nigeria, there's an audience of people that, still don't know about the BLOcounsel or know the value. So reaching out to those, new audiences, even in Nigeria and beyond Nigeria. So maybe communities of young people or old people, general communities that, can have access to the information that we're giving for free because it's for free. It's MTN that you pay or Glo. You don't pay us, right? That we're giving for free. Ways that we can collaborate with also like brands, creators, individuals that have communities, right? So I see season 3 where we are doing a lot more partnership and collaboration with people. I also see a season 3 where maybe eventually you can have a small physical event. I don't know if it's in the works.
I mean, that would not be bad.
And have like an actual live session, workshops, small activities. So it can evolve to that. That's just me thinking out loud, right?
That's good thinking.
It's possible. And then I also see, like Grace mentioned, even more guests in different industries, entertainment space,
Fashion.
in fashion, in business, in real estate, in agriculture, and just, opening up our current audience to, more industries that they can add more value to. I also see a future where we can have like a community, right? Maybe have like a Telegram or a WhatsApp group of, BLOcounsel counselors or something. Maybe the blow ones. or the BLOcounselors, right? Where we can also like share value and information one to another.
Yeah, that would be nice.
So yeah, I'm just thinking out loud, right? Yeah, so I look forward to.
Nice. Solomon, what are the things you
want to add? I having talked to Mr. Babs on several occasions, I know that the BLOcounsel is going places and things are going to happen. I really believe in that, and that's why I've been on the project from the very onset. So I don't doubt anything anybody has said. Everything is possible, and even more than that. So I think that's what I want to add. She said everything.
Thank you for that. And I think if I would, for me, well, I interesting enough, what I would like to see, I've not had a deep thinking about, but of course, just like many things you've said and what Grace said, bringing in more guests. I think I like some of the ideas that Tito just shared now around, even having like
that's right.
Yeah, these are very good ideas. I think these are things that we can do.
I think we can buy airtime as well. Yeah, like TV stations or something.
I was thinking about recharge card. I'm sorry.
I get voice call airtime, so maybe an hour or something. So it will be consistently a week. So I think maybe one of the major channels that works, and they have it in a segment.
Okay, we can we'll look into, we'll discuss all that. It makes sense. Yeah, I think well, I'm sure people watching now will know that all the ideas, these are the people that the ideas come from. You know, they started sharing ideas already before we even started thinking of anything. But I think more importantly, I want to link you know what I'm expecting to, because for me it still boils down to why I'm even doing this in the first place. You know, and it's more of like what inspires me to, you know, make this type of videos. And it's just one thing really. I don't know if I said that before, but for me it's really because I think of a time when I see every video that I make as, for me it's not even about people watching it. For me it's like a diary for me. And the reason why I'm keeping that diary is because I want my kids to be able to have this huge access to information, you know, whether I'm there, whether I'm not there, but at least, you know, you can go to that library and, you know, you can hear me say so many things, you know, hear my experiences, you know. And this is also the same reason why I have journals, all those journals I write, because sometimes maybe I've been keeping journals now for, I don't know, 8, 9 years. If someone who picks all my journals can literally tell, if you read it, you can actually tell my life by reading it, you know, because I write everything I do, business, even family, anything. For someone who, so for me, it's more of a diary that's, you know, my kids, like I said, can pick and be like, oh, I think daddy faced this problem one time before. How did he resolve it? Huh? You know, but really, that's my inspiration, really. It's interesting, but that's how I feel. Mm. Tito.
That's inspiring.
Interesting inspiration, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought I had to say
interesting.
that because I don't think I even ever mentioned the reason why, you know. But for me, even days when if I feel like, oh, I don't want to, but when I remember that, I'm like, there's some people that will maybe like, you know, need this thing one day in the future, you know. And who knows? And aside from that, anybody can bump into that video or some of the videos and see something that just helps them get through that day.
True.
You know, because I have had experiences where I've had tough days, and I'm being serious, and it's a video on YouTube that got me through the day so many times, so many times. You know, you watch the video and you're like, okay, you know, I hear something, you know, new, and it's all about information really, because the difference between one person and another person is just, so this person has more information than the other person. And how do you get more information really? It's you know, maybe in books, maybe in libraries and all that type of stuff. Like someone said, so all the information, all the knowledge of the world is inside the library. You know, so it's left for us to find those information, but they're somewhere. You know, someone has spoken about it before. So yeah,
Wait to even ask
please.
anything. I will just ask that to you personally, sir, being the person that thought about the BLOcounsel and everything. I would ask that, is it really serving the purpose you created it for?
That's an interesting question. You know, I'll tie it to what inspires me to do it.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, for me, it's yes, I know there are all these other objectives, you know. Oh, of course, you want people to view your videos. Of course, you want to have more subscribers on your channel. You know, all these other objectives, of course, they're there. You know, nobody wants to be doing something and there's no growth, right? So these are all there. But for me, it's not the main reason.
Primary, yeah,
You know,
I
it's not the main
understand.
reason for me. So I'd say that for me, it's serving the purpose. Like I said earlier, you know, I'm happy. For me, it's all progress that I've seen.
Documentation,
You
yes.
know, because you know, little by little, we're finding our synergy with what we're doing. And for me, I believe in no matter how small the progress is,
Of course.
I believe there must be progress. You know, it's better than just if you just move one step today, it's better than just staying in one place. So, and I think I've seen that progress in what we have done. So, you know, what more can I ask for? You know, it's all about. I love to see progress. You know, I'm not expecting. It's only somebody that is naive that will expect everything to happen one day. Because time, you know, the time factor, time, patience. There's a reason why those two things are very important. You can't beat it. You know, it's like someone who launches a new product into the marketplace today. Even if you have all the money to promote it to everybody, you still need time for people to get used to it. You can't change that part. People will get used to it at their own time. So you can't beat that. So and I recognize that. So, but what we are doing as a team, which is putting the product out, putting the content out there, for me is I just see it as a blessing. So for me, it's doing what I expect it to do in my own view. And thank you for that question. You made me think about this. Yeah, thank you for that question.
I'm very curious to know if there's anything moving forward for us to be better that should change or should be improved on or something that we should stick to.
Fiesta fried rice.
Yes, some fried rice really is food.
That could be.
I mean, but well, yeah. I think to improve, I think we should look at what worked for us this year, this season, and then replicate it. I think like the reels should be like for every episode, irrespective of whether it's a guest or not. It's just a thing. And I also think we can also add more than one. So even when maybe like the week has passed or 2 weeks has passed, but there's something that was said that needs to be brought back. So we should just say, oh guys, let's bring this back. And then also some people, because we are trying to cater for people that, at different levels of like exposure to the internet. So we can also do some graphics, slideshow carousels that can squeeze like important messages. Like let's say we spoke about the law of giving. Or what's the law of giving? First slide, second slide. Law of giving is this. In the video we shared, blah, 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 blah. How do you know to? So stuff like that so that we can also add to our social media to make it more engaging to people, make it more valuable. And then maybe, have like a convert some of those episodes into a podcast for people who listen. So I'm saying like we have episodes, we just convert it to audio and post it on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. So it's just basically catering for different people, for different audiences. I think that's something that we can do, in terms of like front end. And then back end, I think our process is good. And I think the only time is maybe scheduling issues here and there, but it's not like it hasn't happened frequently enough to be a problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's also something that I think that, yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Grace, do you have still any questions for us?
I'm good.
You're good with the questions.
Yes, sir.
And Fiesta fried rice.
No worries, stamped, sealed. I'll be giving Tito Fiesta fried rice every shoot.
And turkey.
And turkey. Stamped.
Let's shoot more often.
Maybe Solomon is Coca-Cola.
Yes.
Coke ambassador.
Maybe I should make my request.
The first
Dollars. That's all I want.
First year, so it was Pepsi.
Pepsi ambassador. Pepsi.
You actually said it now that it's not Coke, it's
Pepsi.
And yeah, I just think we should give a shout out to people behind the camera, Victor,
Respect,
relationship, Fred, and people that have been behind the camera at one point. Okwe, Sam, Isaac, Samira too.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing, and I'm actually. It's interesting that when we decided to even have this talk, I couldn't imagine what the talk would look like, but I think even from the conversation we've had, it's like I'm inspired for season 3 already.
Yeah.
There's
Morale.
Season 3 because like in my head we have all these things that we can do. And I know that there's so much that we can still all achieve together. For sure. There's a whole lot. So in order, because I know we can continue talking, but
take season 3. We'll talk season 3.
Or maybe we'll start season 3 right away.
Wow, love.
Maybe.
Closing.
Anyway, so let's say any final thoughts for maybe the audience or those that are watching us. I know I spoke to someone some time back, and the person watched my video and was of the opinion that some of what we are doing, that the Nigerian audience is not necessarily ready for that type of related to personal development and those type of things, productivity. And I was of the opinion that, well, even if they are not ready for it, isn't it better to be ahead of before they get ready for
Exactly,
it?
ahead of course.
Sometimes you can change, you can dictate what people watch. So they
Exactly.
just need to constantly see.
See,
I agree.
And then they,
I agree. And, many of us didn't know we would need Instagram and Facebook until it was created.
yes.
Mm-hmm. Now some can't do without
TikTok.
it.
Exactly.
Some people think we'll not leave Instagram and Facebook till we started. TikTok is making sense. Then all of a sudden we have TikTok influencers.
Even Milky Donuts.
Making the-
Yeah.
I
So
understand.
any final, just for the audience, for those that are not yet watching the videos, maybe you have something you want to tell them, and for those that are watching already, maybe you have something you also want to share with
Okay.
them.
3 things.
Yeah. So please.
Keep watching, start watching, continue watching the BLOcounsel. Aside,
Director, producer.
Producer rather.
I used to direct before you came, Otito. You came to take my position. But don't worry.
Okay, director was
Can't
correct
put
actually.
you can't put old wine in your.
Wow. Another angle.
No Fiesta fried rice.
If I too.
And
Well, with
also,
every title that was speaking, another one was added.
exactly.
So Fiesta fried rice and other stuff.
You're trying to secure 2 places.
And pop Pepsi.
I'll pop everything. I think another thing would like your feedback.
Yeah.
Let us know what you'd like to see, who you'd like to see as well.
Anyways, Solomon, do you want to, any final words?
I feel like at every stage in life, you have something you are trying to overcome. And with these 2 seasons we've already shot and filmed and is online, I feel there's something that would work for you if you try it. So you need to keep and continue and start, as Grace said, watching the BLOcounsel.
Wise words from Solomon.
Thank you. Tito, any
If you want to blow, watch the what?
BLOcounsel.
Anyways, I would like she said and he said and we all said, please watch. Subscribe first and foremost, just subscribe. See that bell icon there, click it so that when we have new videos, you get notified. Follow us on also social media platform, even our personal accounts too if you want. There's nothing like bad PR. But yeah, and I think that those of you who have seen the value here, just watch out for us. All the things that we have said, we're also applying it to our own life. See Solomon now. So if Solomon wants to talk, he has dropped like 2 gems. He must first start with an anecdote or a story, It just value packed, right? And if those of us who are close to the sun, and metaphorically, you can see the impact of personal development, right? So it's what we are saying is actually very valuable, right? And telling you for free that the more you will continue to watch, the more value. There are questions that you will have tomorrow that we will have a video for it. So we are loyal to you as you are loyal to us. So we'll keep on creating. We won't close.
I think we need to mention that they can actually request for
Yes, exactly.
as well.
If you have any
If there are
question
issues and they
for
feel that we can impact, they can.
eventually we might
Maybe
even
drop
do Instagram live QA self at one
Yeah,
point.
that's another angle.
I'm just dropping idea left and
That's
right.
another one. Noted.
So yeah, final. Those are my final words. We are here to serve you.
Abiel, thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. I think you guys have said everything. For the audience, for me, it's been amazing. Like I said earlier, I just haven't expected, anything. So everything I get is just a blessing. Those that are watching, it's the onus is on us to continue to do better, to create more valuable content that will make meaning, not just meaning to you, but also meaning to us too. I always say that everybody that I've conversed with, from Oluseyi Magic to Snapcode to Engineer Diary, I've learned something, and I think for me the inspiration also for having the conversations is the fact that I know I can learn from the people that come on, and even from the videos that are being made too. it's only an unwise person that would say they know everything, And personally, I think the things we don't know are more than the things that we know.
Yeah.
So it's very important that every bit of knowledge, we pick it up. And I would employ those and this is for those that have not, started listening to us. If you find this somewhere, please take the time, see what we are doing. And if you find it valuable for you, let us know. Recommend, just like Solomon has said, recommend videos to us, what you want to see, who you like to see, the type of conversations you like to hear. And you can be rest assured that, we, the team, we are committed to giving you the best, all day, every day. And lastly, I want everyone to remember that service to many people always leads you to greatness. Thank you guys for watching us today. And thank the team also
Thank you,
for
sir.
being here today.
Thank you, sir.
We appreciate you all. So until season 3, stay blessed. Ciao.
Your signature.
Yeah, we should all do it together.
No, you have to. It has to. You
Yes,
have to.
Okay.
You must. You have
Choreograph,
to run
choreograph.
it up.
1, 2, ready, go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ciao.